Welcome back to Statistics, everyone. Let's talk about the ebook for the course. This is our text for the course, and so it's going to be obviously very important. You're going to need to be familiar with how to use it. You're going to need to be reading the sections, and they're going to be directly tied to your homework. So the ebook is accessible through WebAssign. Let's take a look of how you would get there. You can start at our Canvas page, and right above the course summary, there's a little link to WebAssign you can use. So if you just click on that, that'll take you to the login page, and then you can sign in, and it'll take you to our course. This is, of course, assuming you're already signed up for WebAssign and everything. And if not, make sure you do that. There's a video out there for that. Let's go over here to courses in the left-hand sidebar and get to our course, Math 121. And as we've seen before, you have front and center the assignments for the course, which we've talked a little bit about. But if you scroll on down to the bottom of the page in the right, you see a link to the ebook for the course. It's Statistics by Learning Objective by Cengage Learning. So you click on that, and that will pop open the ebook in a new window, and there you have it. So let's talk about the organization of the ebook and how we're going to be using it throughout the semester. The ebook is organized into modules. So you see them in the front page right here. These first few modules, P1 through P7, are preparatory modules. They cover some basic things about some of the, mathematics and graphs we'll be using, some things on equations of lines and so on. We're actually going to start, though, with Module 1, and we'll come back and pick up anything we need from these preparatory modules, as we need them. So Module 1 is concepts of statistics. So if you click on that, you'll see it's divided into sub-modules, 1.1a, 1.2a, and so on. And so this is the way all the modules work. The module itself is a larger collection of sub-modules, and each sub-module is a pretty small chunk, but a cohesive chunk of the material in the module. So for instance, if we click on 1.1a, descriptive and inferential statistics, it opens up to a table of contents page that shows you the basic content of the module. And all these are the submodule in this case. All the submodules are going to have sort of a similar format. That is, the very beginning of the module will be an introduction. Then you'll have the key concepts in the submodule called out. And then you might have some procedures described for working through problems and so on. And then you'll have a bunch of examples of those procedures being worked out. And then finally, the submodule will end with a glossary of the new terms that have been introduced in the module. So let's take a look. You can just click over here on the right-hand button and kind of begin scrolling through in this first module, which we'll go through in detail in a subsequent video. You see the introduction is just a real short summary of what this module is about. And this one's about the difference between descriptive and inferential statistics. And then you see the key concepts. And typically this is going to be a little bit longer, but not super long. You have a basic description of descriptive and inferential statistics here in the figure and in the paragraph. And then you have some examples. And then you go into the procedure section. And so this is the procedure for distinguishing the difference between descriptive and inferential statistics. And then you see step-by-step examples that are worked out, and you can see the answers here in the answer boxes that are provided. So the idea is that you would read the example and work through it using the procedures that were outlined, and then check yourself to see if you're right. And I would say here that that's actually a good way to read the ebook. It would actually be helpful if you had your like a notebook or a piece of paper out, kind of wrote down key concepts as you go through, and then as you work those examples, just scratch down your ideas and your thoughts, and then check them against the answers that are given in the box. Reading a textbook in math or in science in general is something you don't want to do like you're reading a novel or something. It's something that requires really close reading and careful reading. So I urge you to use a notebook to help you as you read through, to jot down key concepts and so on, and check yourself with the answers that are provided in the book. Um, so yeah, there's a bunch of more examples of this type that are given in the text. Let me see if I can get to them. So a step-by-step example. We'll be talking about some of these in more detail in a written out example. And so a host of examples, and then you come to the glossary of terms. And that is basically the way that all the modules will work. So let me get rid of my picture up here so I can show you how to get back. In the upper right-hand corner, you see this little, or actually in the upper part of the upper banner of the page, you see the module or the submodule we're looking at. If you want to get back to the ebook proper, just click that X in the upper right-hand corner, and that takes you back to the table of contents for the ebook. So all the modules have this format, and we'll actually be covering not all the modules in the course, but essentially we'll be covering modules 1 through 6. We'll pick up some of 7 through 12 and 13, but then really the main part will be 1 through 6, and then 14 through 18. Then we'll also hit 20, and possibly a few more if we have time. I'll also mention that the homework is tied pretty directly to these modules. So for instance, in Module 1, the first submodule is 1.1a on descriptive and inferential statistics. And if you go back to our WebAssign page, you of course realize that, our Canvas page, the homework, the very first WebAssign homework is precisely from that module. So all my homeworks will be tied to those modules and submodules in this very explicit way. And hopefully that'll help you as you try to work the homework. You'll know exactly which module it comes from. So that's a quick overview of the ebook. We're going to dive into Module 1 in our next video and start looking at the basic concepts of statistics. So we'll see you there. Y'all take care.